everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week I am talking about my nutrition because it is getting dangerously close to the Lakes Traverse 100k, which I will be doing in less than 2 weeks, which is terrifying. And I've got loads of questions about my nutrition and my race plan and my kit and all that kind of stuff, so I wanted to talk to you about that today and hopefully share some stuff that you guys as well can try out in your running. This will be my first ever time doing 100k, and because of that I'm trying to be really particular with the food that I'm bringing, the food that I'm eating, so that I know what I'm doing and hopefully that I can kind of get into the swing of things and feel really confident with my nutrition plan, because running 100k is hard enough without then having issues with your stomach or with nutrition or like whatever it is. Just to remind any of you who don't know the race at all, the Lakes Traverse is 100 kilometers across the Lake District. It takes Alfred Wainwright's route from coast to coast but stops at Shap, which is on the other side of the Lake District, and we start at St. Bees, which is on the coast. It is a gorgeous route and I'm super duper excited to give it a go. I've run in the Lake District a couple of times, but certainly never this long, never a really long race, never even a really long run. I think the longest I've done there is like 30 kilometers or something. So this will be a surprise to the poor old body. It is super duper hilly as well. It's got 3,500 meters of elevation gain, which to be fair, over 100 kilometers isn't that much, but I have a feeling my legs are not going to be thinking it's nothing 50k in. So I'm going to read out the description that the Lakes Traverse sent about the route, because I think I'm not going to try and remember all the different names of the places. If you have read Feet in the Clouds by Richard Asquith, then you will recognise a lot of these names, but I'm not going to try and remember them in order because I do not know this route like the back of my hand. And I was supposed to go up and do a recce, but the recce was cancelled, and then I got ill, so I haven't been able to do any of the recceing that I would have liked to have done. But let me read you out the route, which is the first 100k of the full Northern Traverse, which some people are doing at the same time, and it is insane. So the race starts with the Silver Northern Traverse in St. Bees and crosses the entire Lake District, finishing in Shap. You'll have over 30 hours to complete the race from the western coast through Ennerdale, Borrowdale, over Grasmere Common and Fairfield, through Patterdale, over Kidsty Pike, along Hayeswater and into Shap, with a total of 3,500 meters of elevation over 100 kilometers. This is a challenging yet beautiful ultra. I am looking forward to the beautiful part. I am not so much looking forward to the challenging part, but it is what it is. That is why we do these things. And now I'm going to talk to you about the nutrition that I'm going to be using for the race, because it's a question I get asked a lot, and it also helps get it all set in my head so that I really know what I'm doing when I start getting moving. So the first checkpoint is at 47 kilometers, which is, so far, I would usually be used to having like 3 or 4 checkpoints in that time, so it's kind of insane. On the plus side, the first 47 kilometers is the flattest part of the route, which means that even though it's the longest between aid stations, hopefully I will be doing it at a decent enough pace not to be out there all day waiting to get to aid station number 1. So it is 47 kilometers. I'm hoping to do that in around 7 hours. Usually I try and go a little bit faster, but looking at the finishing times from last year, the first woman who came second overall, an incredible woman called Katie, who has been super helpful, giving me like hints and tips as much as you can over Instagram, finished in 11 hours something. And then the second woman finished in 15 hours 11, and then it got obviously slower from there. So there are loads and loads of people in the 18s and not so many people in the 15s and 16s, so I think it would be kind of outrageous for me to assume that I could finish in the 14 to 15 hours that I originally wanted to finish in. But having said that, the first 47k is the flattest part of the route, so hopefully 7 hours will be sufficient to take me to there, which is in Rothwaite, and at that aid station they have food. So I have to be self-sufficient between the different aid stations, and because it's such a long way between the start and the first aid station, I'll be having lots and lots of food between those. And then you get to the first aid station and it has hot food, as well as things like sandwiches, loads of different snacks, bitey things, nibbly things, the usual aid station stuff. But I like to be able to rely on myself so that if there isn't anything that I want, at an aid station, I know that I have enough food to get me to the next aid station. And the second aid station, and there are only 2 overall, is in Patterdale, and that is at 71 kilometers. So there's again quite a long period of time between the first aid station and the second aid station, and the second aid station and the end, nearly 30 kilometers. I will be wanting to have all of the food with me. Without further ado, let me talk you through my nutrition. In terms of what is going in my water, which I feel like is a key aspect of this, because who knows what happens to your stomach when you're running a really long way, I have Tailwind Endurance Fuel Mix. This stuff I got at the National Running Show, actually. It's been recommended by so many people and I've been meaning to try it for ages, and they had a little sale on there, so I bought this. This is the matcha flavour, which is caffeinated. I've also got the original flavour downstairs, and I haven't decided which one I will use, but chances are I will be using the caffeinated version because I think I need all the help I can get. And alongside that, I will be using Active Root, which is an electrolyte mix. This is super natural. It's basically, not supernatural, super natural. It's cane sugar and ginger root extract, so great for settling the stomach because it's got ginger in it, and also works really well just as a kind of like mood boost because calories equal mood. Low mood, eat food. That's a great saying. So those will be going in my water from the very start, and then as I top up water, which will likely be in rivers and streams for the first little bit, it will get more and more diluted, and then I'll be able to top it up again when I get to the first aid station. I am also going to bring this little thing in case they don't have electrolytes at any of the aid stations. I'll be having this with me. This is a Voom Hydrate Smart Formula Hypertonic Electrolyte Drink, and I really rate the Voom stuff. They've got something really similar to Tailwind as well, and I haven't quite decided if I'm going to bring that along as well. I think maybe you can overdo it on these things and you actually don't need everything, but this will be really great, especially if it is a warmer day, because obviously cramping can be a serious issue, especially over longer distances. That's my water sorted, and in terms of water stops between the start and 47 kilometers in, a lot of people have said that you can fill up in streams and rivers, and there are also some shops and corner shops and that sort of thing on the way. We're not in the middle of nowhere for most of it, so it's not going to be like I can't pop in and get a drink somewhere if I need to at various points, but ideally I wouldn't do that. I don't really want to get distracted from the route that I'm on and just getting to that first aid station. Those first 47 kilometers are definitely as easy as the route is going to get, and that's not very easy, so I really want to kind of focus on that and just get to that 47 kilometer mark, and from then on I can do other things if I need to and just limp home to the end, but that first 47k I kind of want to smash out. So that's that for my drinking. You guys will recognize the rest of the food because this is all the stuff that I've been training with and letting you guys know about as I go along. I have Luce Dietos guava blocks. These are really great. They're kind of like solid gels. It's basically just sugar, and they have also electrolytes in them, which is great, and I use those every so often. I find them very, very, very sweet because they are, but they are really great if you need a little bit of energy. I probably will not be having those at the beginning, but we'll be having them more towards the end. Nuru, which are flapjacks. I really like these as well. They have lots of different flavors. They have like mixed berry, they've got mixed nuts, they've got toasted hazelnut, which is incredible, tastes like Nutella, and salted caramel, which is my personal favorite, and I really, really rate these. And also they don't have any packaging, so you don't have to deal with all that kind of stuff. So you can take this off and then they're all individually in there. And then my faves, the Explore Talk Flapjacks. I have a discount code for these guys. In fact, I think I might have discount codes for all of these. I'll put them down in the description box. But these are from Base Camp Nutrition, who do loads of expedition foods. And these are the most sugary, high calorie, most delicious things ever. I've got a Bakewell slice and a banana cake. They've got loads of different ones, like the stem ginger cake as well, which was so good on my last run. And the great thing about those, they're a lot less dry than the Nuru, which are quite dry. So towards the latter half of a race, which is everything is kind of hard work, it's sometimes nice to have something a little bit softer rather than the Nuru, which is very solid, very good, very dense, but not very moist. It's like dry. And then I have these, and I am gonna try these because I haven't actually tried these yet. These are the Voom Nutrition, there you go, Voom Nutrition Pocket Rocket bars, and they've got caffeine in as well as like beta alanine and electrolytes as well, which will be useful as I go along. But like I say, I want to try those first, make sure that they do work for me. But I've really loved everything else that Voom has done, so I think those will be great. And I'm not organising the particular order I'm going to be eating all of these in. Ideally, I will be eating 250 to 300 calories per hour. That seems to be what my body can handle comfortably without feeling like I'm going to be sick or just like really, really heavy. Beyond that point, I struggle a little bit to get more food in. I will be trying to get in 250 to 300 calories an hour, which means that I will be eating every 45 minutes or so, just one of each of these things. And because I've got the water filled up as well, every time I drink, I'll be getting some calories and electrolytes in as well, which is super important. And then at the aid stations, I'm so excited for this. Silva have done such a great job with these aid stations. They look incredible, and I have a feeling my boyfriend might be waiting at them, just waiting to eat all the food. They also have a no meat and no fish policy for everything, which is great. So everything's veggie or vegan. Hot meal at Rothwaite, which is 47k in, the first aid station. They have an assortment of cheesy, vegetarian and vegan pizzas. And I know for a fact that I can run having just eaten a pizza because I've done it before. So I'm gonna try not to overdo it, and I don't feel like I'll want to overdo it, but I can definitely have pizza and then run as well. And I feel like that'd be a great mood boost as well, because sometimes you just get bored of eating like flapjacks over and over again. However nice they are, you will get bored of it. You need something that your body is craving. And I'm sure I'll be craving pizza at this point. At 71 kilometers, the second aid station at Patterdale, they have burritos, which again sounds incredible, and the preferred food of the Tarahumara, and I feel like they know what they're doing. So that's a reference to Born to Run, by the way. If you guys haven't read it, I would thoroughly recommend it. And then also at all the aid stations, both the aid stations, not all of them, there are only two, they have a selection of hot and cold drinks, including tea, coffee, hot chocolate, squash and water, with milk alternatives available. Again, catering for the vegans, thank you very much. They have sandwiches with various fillings. So I don't know if you guys watched my Race to the Tower vlog from last summer. That was 52 miles. I ate a peanut butter and jam sandwich on the way around, and that was the best thing for me because it was a mixture of carbs, sugar, fat to keep me going. I just ate that as I was moving and it was delicious. Hot and cold savoury snacks, chips, vegetarian sausage rolls, vegan bites, crisps and nuts, and then a selection of cakes and tray bakes, fresh fruit, porridge, and a variety of other hot and cold breakfast options. So like I said, there's a 30-hour time limit for this race, so you might be out until breakfast, which is insane. I think if it gets to that point, I will be definitely struggling. Yeah, I don't know if I'll make it if I get to that point. My problem is that I've never raced this far before. This will be by far the longest time on feet that I've ever done. Even my 52 miler last year was 10.5 hours because it was a little bit flatter than this one and a lot easier underfoot as well. Very, very solid underfoot for the vast majority of the race. Whereas this is earlier in the year, it's in the Lake District, there will be bogs, there will be softer tracks, there will be a lot more hills. I know what it's like there and I'm not expecting it to be easy. So I'll be very, very, very happy if I can finish in 15 hours. So that's a long old time on feet. For reference, last year in Croatia, which was definitely by far the hardest ultramarathon I've ever done, the 4-day event that I did had anywhere between 6 hours, 6.5 hours I think was the shortest day, which was the second day, to 12 hours, I think, 11.5 hours, which was the third day. That damn near destroyed me. So yeah, this will be quite a lot longer than that, but thankfully not after 2 days of running. Hopefully I'll be feeling fresh by then, so fingers crossed. So that is it for my nutrition, and I'll speak through my kit in a separate vlog so that you guys can see all of that and I can pay a little bit more attention to it. But I hope this is helpful. As you can probably tell, I'm shitting myself about this. I'm genuinely extremely nervous. I do not feel prepared. I know for a fact that my training has been like half a training plan and then just 7 weeks so far of just illness after injury after illness after injury, and I've barely run recently, so it's not ideal prep to say the least, but we do what we can do. And I mean, even if I can just get to the first aid station, that's still 47 kilometers of beautiful running across the Lake District. If that happens, it happens, and at least I gave it a go. But you know, I'm there to have fun. That is the entire point in this, and if it's not fun, it's not worth it for me. So if I can go out there and have fun and do my training that I did do, the great training that I did earlier in my training block, justice, then I'll be really happy. And I know that I've got loads of other races this year as well, so no point killing myself on this one and not being able to do any of the others. But fingers crossed, I can do it all. Everyone wants it all. I definitely want it all this year because I've got so many great races planned and I'm genuinely very, very, very excited for this one and for all of the other ones as well. So I can't prioritize any of them over anything else. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up. I'll be back next week with more news about my kit and a little bit more probably about the Lakes Traverse and perhaps a little run thrown in there as well, which will be my final week of running before the race. So I'll probably be testing out all my race kit on a sort of 15-kilometer run, hopefully, and feeling fresh for it. Again, fingers crossed. I'm going out for a run now. You can see I'm wearing my running kit and I will see you in next week's vlog. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.